Hey guys, Panda back with you, and we're going to talk about some sourdough bread starter, my personal experiences with making that sourdough bread starter. Okay? So prepare yourselves for a fun adventure. Okay, and we're back. The cat's all over the counter. Oh, yeah, he's right up here. But what we're talking about here is the sourdough bread starter I have going here. It's taken me, here, get your ass off of there. Yeah, okay. Now I had to put my starter into the refrigerator because it is growing crazily. I don't know if you guys can see it. I marked that line right there, the black line. And if you look at it really close, you can see the level where this has risen above this line right here. And that's only in like a few hours. And I had to put it in the fridge. Previously, yeah, I already have a loaf. Well, not a loaf, but I already have my dough, my first ever sourdough sitting out proofing overnight, rising on its own. I'm going to see what the hell happens. But what I want to do is talk you guys through a couple things here really quick. I had to do a lot of stuff here by trial and error. But what worked out for me was using a quarter cup of unbleached flour and about 1/3 cup of water. Okay, now the important thing here is when I first tried to do this, I was using regular tap water, right? And I wasn't getting anything to happen at all. And what I did is I took the water and I just put it into a container and I let it sit out overnight. So part of that chlorine inside the water actually will evaporate. And I'll tell you what, in 3 days, I ended up with this kind of a result. Unbleached white flour and regular tap water that I let sit out. Now, you could also use regular, distilled water or get bottled water, do whatever. But the room temperature water definitely makes a huge difference. I mean, this stuff is rising like crazy. And now, if you put this in the fridge, you will not have to feed it every day. Okay? It's like you can pull this out the night before, or I should say the day before you want to bake bread. And then you got to make sure you feed it. Now, when I talk about feeding it, I'm talking about that same recipe, okay? Quarter cup of flour and about 1/3 cup of water. But make sure that when you're mixing everything together inside your mason jar, that you have a consistency that is kind of like a pancake batter. Okay, I mean, a couple of times I had mine really thick. Then I put a little bit more water in to kind of thin it out. And I tell you what, I had no problems at all. Now I want to show you here. Now, you do not tighten your lids down at all. As a matter of fact, you can use paper towel. This is what I do when I leave it sitting on the counter overnight. But if you look down inside here, you see all the bubbles down inside that? I mean, yeah, you can see the bubbles down inside that. That's what you want. This stuff is growing like nuts. That's why I put it in the fridge. Or else I probably have it like cream it up over the top. Yeah, just horrible mess if you have that happen. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a thing there. So you guys want to try to make sourdough? You got to make your starter. And it's simple. Flour and water. You can use different types of flour, of course. Wheat flour, white flour, AP flour. But I recommend, honestly, you use an unbleached flour and probably some bottled or distilled water. Room temperature, I do a low mix every day. I do the same amount I put into it. That's only if you leave it on the counter though, okay? You got to feed it every day on the counter. But if you have the active growth going on, like I do here, and you want to slow that down, put it in the fridge and pull it out the day before you're going to use it to cook with, okay? Kind of just something I'm learning here, and I'll follow this up with some other videos as I go. All right, guys, Panda out. Be safe.